folks, Dave the bartender here with an update on my Pre-Heresy world eaters. First up is the Vindicator, which I've now finished off with a crewman on the twin link bolter. So rather than use the very exquisite yet also very expensive Forge World tank crewman, I used some leftover parts from my infantry models and then sculpted some Mark II armour around it. So I need to touch up a couple of places on the weathering where it's just worn against the case, and then give it another matte varnish to protect it some more. But overall I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. I think this is the second model I've used the Forge World weathering covers on, and it's looking pretty good. So this shows the sculpting work on the crewman a little bit more with the layered armour of the Mark II. So the rivets I did using balls from a water filter, which worked out perfectly. It's from the Forge World Masterclass book. What I also did was I slightly converted the storm bolter just by putting that groove down the centre, just to make it look a little bit more like a twin link bolter as opposed to the all-in-one storm bolter. So I'm happy with how that's turned out. And then I did some freehand, if I can get this to focus, did some freehand on the hatch cover here, just with the World Eaters emblem. It's something I may continue on some of my other hatch covers, though it is a bit of a time-consuming process, so I'm not sure if I can really be bothered doing it on all my tanks, but there we go. Now moving on to what you've probably seen lurking in the background, this is the second of my termites for the army. So I'm using these as drop pods, and I've done these using the hairspray weathering technique to chip away the paint and show the rusted metal underneath. I'm not entirely happy with how the blues come out with that. It's come out very light on the edge of some of the chips, but overall I'm pretty happy. I did them fairly fast, and yeah, I'm really happy with the boring machine model from Ramshackle Games. And here's the third one. So on this one I added some plasticard teeth around it to show the World Eater symbol on there too, and then did the World Eaters logo on there with some freehand as well. Again, it's chipped using the hairspray technique, and again I'm quite happy with it. I'm not entirely happy with how the chapter symbols come out, but that's just me getting used to how the chipping process works and how to do weathering on top of the freehands and stuff. So overall, again, it's a fairly quick little job, and I'm quite happy with it. And finally, this is the second Rhino for my army. So this is just at the end of the painting stage, and I'm about to start doing the weathering on it. So like my first Rhino, it's using parts from Blood and Skulls Industries, which I've then added some extra sort of tag stowage gear from a few other third-party places, and then the front ram spike has been scratch built. So probably this afternoon I'm going to throw the weathering powders on it and then get it all varnished up, and it will be finished off. So at that point the next vehicle I've got to work on is my landraider, which is going to be quite a big task. And this is what I mean by big. So what I've done is the top part of the landraider here on the original kit I've cut off and then built up with plasticard to give it a bit of a more rounded shape, because the tracks are actually going to run along the top and around rather than being covered up by the track guards. And so then I've used the Chapter House ironclad landraider upgrade parts to give that Mark IIB, I think it is, look from Forge World. So it's got a really nice sort of heavily armoured frontage here, and it's this slightly older looking spots and weapons and things like that, which is more akin to the Pre-Heresy style. And then the tracks I've got also from Blood and Skulls Industries, and I'll pull those out. This is just a rough idea to give you an idea of what it's going to look like once the tracks are added. So I picked, I think it's the Oppressor tracks from Blood and Skulls Industries, which are a very sort of sharp shark tooth style tread, which looks quite nice and vicious, and I think really suits the World Eaters. So this is probably the biggest scratch building job or converting job that I've ever done. I'm fairly happy with how it's turned out. It wasn't easy, and there's a few things which I definitely change in the future. As you can see on this one, I've actually cut all the rivets out from plasticard, and now that I know how to do the water filter rivet technique, it's definitely be a lot faster and a little bit more uniform. So painting wise, I need to track down someone in my area who's got an airbrush, just because I want to get a really nice even coat before I start doing the weathering. And I'm tossing up whether or not to do the hairspray technique on this one, mainly because I haven't used it on my other tank models, so I might stick with the same scheme and save that for some other models down the track. But let me know what you think. There's a few bits of gap filling which have shown up a bit more when I've done the spray, so I need to go back and fix those up. But this is a project I'm going to be rewarding myself with once I've finished off all my infantry models, and when those are done I'll put some more videos up on YouTube. So thanks for watching, those few of you who have been watching. I appreciate any comments and subscriptions, and yeah, cheers guys, I'll catch you later.